Yes, we are going to speak about the hijab judgment pronounced by Karnataka High Court on 15th day of March 2022. And the justices present were Honorable Mr. Rajuraj Ashwari, Chief Justice, and the Honorable Mr. Justice Krishna S. Dixit, and the Honorable MS Justice J.M. Khasi, a judge with a Muslim name. Actually, on the onset, Advocate Ismail Wafa would like to say this is a very saddening judgment to the Muslims of India. Why? Because it violates the fundamental rights. Let me explain this case. Karnataka Education Department circulated a circular regarding uniform under Karnataka Education Act. And it says the students should compulsorily adhere to the dress code uniform as follows. The word should compulsorily adhere to the dress or code or uniform. And it states in government schools as prescribed by the government, in private schools as prescribed by the school management, in pre-university colleges that come within the jurisdiction of the Department of the Pre-University Education as prescribed by the government. So, accordingly, when such a uniform is prescribed, the Muslim girls cannot wear hijab. So, naturally, apprehending these Muslim girls and their parents approached the High Court with a writ to allow them to wear hijab, and hijab is translated as headgear, that is covering the head or hair, saying that this is the violation of fundamental right. And I'd like to say that this is the Constitution of India. In the Constitution of India, in the preamble, it is clearly said there are four values: justice, liberty, and equality, and liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. So three words are related to religion: belief, faith, and worship. And the objective of this constitution is to secure to all its citizens. These words should be noted. To secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political. Then liberty of thought and expression. Then belief, faith, and So this preamble has been violated in the judgment. In the same way, fundamental right 24, it is clearly says right to freedom of religion, freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religion. Three terms are the free profession to accept any religion, to practice it, and this hijab comes under practicing of that. Then propagation of religion. Subject to public order, morality and health, and to the other provisions of this part, all persons are equally entitled to the freedom of conscience and the right to freely profess, practice and propagate religion. And this practice, now the court has used the word, is it an essential practice of Islam? Yes, it is. As far as a Muslim lady is concerned, it is essential for them, compulsory for her to cover her head and hair. So God misunderstood about that and didn't understand what are the essentials of Islam. So it is a very essential part of Muslims. And one more thing what we have to note is that with this writ, there are some other writs also. And it is given by, that writ is presented by Ghanshyam Upadhyay as an advocate. We have to read up also what are the contentions. So we will come to know what is the intention of the political parties, this anti-hijab movement. This writ is filed under Article 22(6) of the Constitution of India, praying to direct CBI, NIA and or such other investigation agency as this honorable court may deem fit and proper to make a thorough investigation with regard to the massive agitation taking place all over the country and spiraling effect and impact beyond the geographical limits of India in the aftermath of the issuance of the government order dated 5/2/2022. And this order is regarding the uniform. So what these people say is, the agitation, what is going on in India. And let us see their wordings. Under Karnataka Education Act 1983 by the state of Karnataka, and to find out as to whether there is an involvement of radical Islamist organizations such as PFI, SIO, Student Islamic Organization, CFI, Campus Friend of India, Jamaat Islami, which is funded by the Saudi Arabian universities. How do these people know they are funded by Saudi people? Malified intentions against Muslims to Islamize India and to advance the radical Islam in India and submit the report of such inquiry, investigation to this honorable court within such measurable period of time as this honorable court may deem fit and proper. What does this writ says? The radical people who work against Islam and Muslims, they say that their investigation should be made about the agitation Muslims did in India. And the strong word they are using, they want to Islamize India. Why should Muslims Islamize India? no invention to Islam as India. So, this writ also was put together and the judgment came. So, whatever it is, now court didn't allow this writ and it rejected it. As a result, Muslim girls will not be allowed to wear hijab, and that translated it as adgir. It is an essential practice of Muslims. The court has misunderstood what are essentials of Islam and non-essentials of Islam. And as far as Muslims are concerned, in Islam, certain things are compulsory, certain things are optional. That is also religious practice. Muslims are not supposed to drink liquor. That's also an essential part. So all these things are put together in the religion of Islam. There are 5 rulings in Islam: wajib compulsory, sunnah optional, haram prohibited, and karahat undesirable, then permitted things. The court must understand what Islam is. And one more thing what I would like to say is that when there are clear things, court can say anything. Judges can say anything. And even the judgment starts with referring about a book about hijab. The judgment starts that way. So, what we feel is that since independence, many court verdicts and legislations are made against Islamic practices. There was a Shaban case in which it was said the ex-husband should give expenses to the divorced wife. And many rules are coming. Now, in many states, people cannot change their religion. It goes against the fundamental right Article 25. And we have seen also in the case of Babari Masjid, many judgments went against Muslims. And the people who conducted for that, they said 2 adults came up automatically. Unscientific belief. And one more thing is that we all know government has 3 organs: executive, legislature, and judiciary. And executive can influence judiciary. And we have seen many times in India it has happened. One more thing is that a political party who has strong hatred towards Muslims, they are working against the practices of the Muslims. In India, we have heard the slogan, Kabristan ya Pakistan. And nothing was done against them. And what does it mean? Muslims should either go to Pakistan or they will send them to Kabristan. This sort of slogan is going on here. So taking all these things together, what I feel is that these sort of judgments, legislation will come out. Why? Because the present government said in their manifesto they will have uniform civil code. Now my question is that if Muslims live according to the religion, what others are going to lose? This is our question. If Muslims live according to their religion, what others are going to lose? Let me ask you a very simple question. During Kumbh Mela, sannyasis go there naked. Nobody speaks about it. In Kerala, there is a Kodangallur sexual song. Nobody speaks about it. So, all these sorts of things are done in the name of religion. And it is supported by some people. We should think about it. So, when there's a government who says about uniform civil code, this is also related to uniform. The term itself is uniform. Then what is the meaning of this fundamental right? To profess, practice and propagate religion. So quite naturally. Now what we Muslims can do? We are minority in India. When the majority passes the rule against Islam and Muslims, we are helpless. We have only one weapon with us. That is prayer to Allah Almighty. Ad-du'a silah al-mu'min. I don't find any other solution except this. Another thing is that we pray Allah Almighty to purify the minds of these people who hate Muslims. So we have to read all these things together, to read together. And who were working against hijab in Karnataka. So our humble request to the people in authority, please do justice to Muslims. Please do justice to Muslims. We expect that. At the same time, again I am asking, if there are many religions in India. Hindus are there, Muslims are there, Christians, Jews, Buddhists, Jainists, Sikh. Let them live according to their religion. And one thing we should understand, every Indian citizen has to live here according to his belief, according to his religion, according to his culture. But when the heart is toxified, nothing can be done. So we have humble request that let justice be done to Muslims. The people in authority, let them do justice. That's why Holy Prophet said to pray, Allahumma la tusallit alayna man la yarhamna. We have to pray to Allah Almighty, don't give authority to the people who are not merciful to us. That's very important. Allahumma la tusallit alayna man la yarhamna. Why Holy Prophet said to pray this? The people in authority are not doing justice. If they are cruel to the minority, if they are not merciful to the people, all these things will happen. At the same time, one more thing is there. Hatred. There is a party who believes in hatred towards Muslims. If there is a hatred, what will happen? The Holy Quran says, لا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا. Let this hatred not cause injustice to others. So when there is hatred for somebody, they will do injustice to others. And this thing has happened. Why I am telling all this? For the second writ, asking the government to investigate everything, where the fund is coming, and they are going to Islamize India. All these two writs are put together in this judgment. 129 pages. Anyhow, we would like to say our honorable people who issue this thing, Indian Muslims are saddened. Indian Muslims are saddened by this judgment. And one thing I would like to say, for a Muslim woman, covering the head and hair is an essential practice of Islam. That's a wrong notion that it is not an essential part of Islam. It's an essential part of Islam. So we expect justice from all the three organs of the government: executive, legislature and judicial. We expect justice from all the three organs. Let me repeat: from executive, from legislature and from judicial. This is our expectation. We pray Allah Almighty, Allah, purify the mind of the people. That is the only solution we see. That's all. Thank you.